The best example of interpreting your own tongues. Today morning, I was going through comments on this channel. Then I came across a comment left by Shaj122. Anytime I get questions about interpreting tongues, something sparks in my mind. Many times I'm scared to share those kind of revelations. I don't know why. But today, I decided to force myself to share it. One thing I know is that anytime I have been reluctant to share a revelation, when I eventually share it, I get so many thank yous that leave me wondering why I was holding on to that revelation in the first place. Today feels like one of those days. When Shaj122 asked if it is possible to interpret tongues using phrases found in earthly languages, I was a bit confused for a good reason. You see, the gift of speaking in tongues gives us the ability to speak any and every language that has ever existed and will ever exist. The gift of interpreting tongues converts whatever tongues we speak into whatever language we want. That is obvious, but the key thing I want you to understand is that the language you are converting your tongues into so that you understand it is also part of the tongues covered by the gift of speaking in tongues. That is what caused the little moment of confusion I had when Shaj122 asked this question. Shaj122 then elaborated his question and mentioned a word that delighted my heart. But before I tell you that word, let me explain something. We as human beings have priorities. At any given time, we execute the activity that is on top of our priority list. This means that the only way to get anything done is to figure out a way to get it to the top of our priority list. Don't worry, you will understand shortly why I said this. Shaj122 said, if I am continuously uttering a word or a phrase. That is a very key step in interpreting tongues. As I mentioned before, we have priorities and we only execute what is on top of our priority list. For this reason, when the Holy Spirit wants us to pay attention to a particular word, He repeats it multiple times when we are praying in tongues. Every time the phrase is repeated, it goes up in our priority list until when it gets to the top. Once it is on top of our priority list, we automatically embark on searching it out. This is now the best time to tell you the word that Shaj122 mentioned that delighted my heart. In his question, Shaj122 said, and I have a desire to know what it means. The key word there is desire. Here is the thing. The biggest hurdle in interpreting tongues is cultivating a desire strong enough to push you to seek out the interpretation of the tongues. This is so important that the Holy Spirit Himself will usually lead you to repeat phrases over and over until they grab your attention and spark a desire within you. The next thing Shaj122 mentioned is the checkpoint where many people who desire to interpret tongues get stuck. Understand it properly so that you don't get stuck there too. Once the Holy Spirit has successfully sparked a desire in you to know what a particular phrase you are speaking in tongues means, it is your responsibility to take action. The type of action you take is entirely your choice, but it will determine the course of everything going forward. If you don't take any action, the whole transaction ends there. In the case of Shaj122, he puts the phrase in an online translator to see if anything pops up. There is a very key point here about the Holy Spirit that you absolutely need to know. Whatever action you take, as long as you have faith in it, the Holy Spirit will make it give you interpretation. The next thing Shaj122 asks is something I have always struggled to explain in words. He says, my spirit gives witness. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, for who knows a person's thoughts except their own spirit within them? Do I need to say anything more than that? Well, maybe this. You are the only human being who can understand the witness of your own spirit. Once you have internal witness, believe it, and the interpretation will be done. Mr. Shaj122, you got all the steps of interpreting tongues correct, but you hesitated on the last step of believing what you received. I am here to confirm to you that whatever you got is the perfect interpretation of your tongues. God bless you.